There's some very comfortable ones up front here in case you want to join me. I'm expecting you to join me. For those that don't know me, I am Jerry Ackerman, and I know a lot of you. I know who you are. Not everybody, and thanks for all those that know me and still came, and those that didn't know me and came just to see. Tonight's topic is the money meltdown, and I know about this some, and you know about this some. Let's share. Let's share what's happening, how we know that, why we care, what the expectations are, how grim, what can we do to prepare, and what will we do to prepare, why we have a money meltdown anyway. Questions there are Latin phrases used by the lawyers, cui bono, like who benefits? And then there's the matter of connecting the dots. This is a delicate art. There's no science to connecting dots. There's a lot of dots that are important, and I'll mention some of those, and you're aware of some. What's it all about? It's about centralizing control. Now, if that sounds Machiavellian to you, it is Machiavellian. There are institutions and agencies which bear naming, and I will name some, and you will know some too. So we will be feeling the elephant. You know about the blind men, that each had a different perception of the elephant. And they were each right, weren't they? Okay, well, we've got a few blind men here to feel this elephant, and it's a biggie. So how do we respond to that, and what is the answer to it all? There's my agenda for the night, and I hope you'll join me in it. That should say, where's your money? Now, is it in your home? If it is, then you should be aware of Monday's Wall Street Journal, when it talked about what the prices of homes were in the USA. They're down 7%, 17% in the West. And the number of sales was down 15% and 17% in the South. Well, maybe your money is okay in your home, or you're satisfied with that, and you don't have a mortgage or anything. What about your vehicle? Well, the word on, again, you can quote the Wall Street Journal any day on how the sales are going on GM and Ford and Chrysler. I have a little bit from Texas in case you're in the market for a Dodge Ram. They're $30,000, but that's the sticker price, and it ain't sticking. It's selling at $15,000. Now, this is a new model, not a demonstrator or anything. So Ford and GM sales are down 25%. They're laying off people, they're buying out. Ford and GM together are offering early retirement to over 90% of their workers in North America. And you can read in the paper about plants being closed, union contracts abrogated, and so on. Even Toyota. Toyota did a big thing down in Texas. They built a plant for Tundra. I don't know the price of a Tundra now, but I suspect it's discounted. And they didn't sell as many Priuses as they could have because they didn't have them built. So everybody makes mistakes, I guess, but the big mistakes made by the big companies, GM and Ford, and Chrysler's kind of off the map now. But Brian Mulroney's in charge there, so maybe good things will happen. He's part of Cerebus, the private equity fund that bought Chrysler. Okay, so there's your home, there's your vehicle. Seem a little bit at risk. If you're in the US, you might be one of the 500,000 foreclosed homes. And the expectation now is there'll be 1.5 million more foreclosed before the end of next year. That's pretty serious business, isn't it? Okay, well, maybe your money's in investments. So you probably have something very safe. You probably bought GM a year ago. No, you didn't do that. It's down 73%. Or maybe you bought it at Christmas. It's down 59% since Christmas. Well, but what's safer than a bank as an investment? Well, the U.S. banks, I have some numbers on that. The two biggest ones are Citigroup, which is, of course, here too, and Bank of America. Citigroup's down 69% in the 12 months. Bank of America's down 56%. Now, since Christmas, they're down 45%, both of them. Canadian banks, dare I mention them? No, I won't mention them. They're safe and solid, and if you don't think so, just read the Globe and Mail. All you have to do. Globe and Mail quotes somebody from the Howe Institute or the Fraser Institute, which are funded by the banks, or an economist. And we've got some dandy economists, they all work for banks. And they'll give you a glad hand at any time and tell you things are pretty good. And the Bank of Canada, our own bank, it broke both arms, patting itself on the back last week, saying, we were right on. We're doing a great job. Yeah. Well, I don't agree. They're not doing at all what I want my bank to do. I want my bank to fund public goods and services. I'm talking about transportation, talking about bridges, and I'm talking about schools. I'm talking about hospitals. One of my angry letters went to Kingston Whig Standard back in the spring when they were raising money to expand the hospital. There's 3 hospitals there. They're going to expand it because there's not enough beds to keep the surgeons away from the magazine rack. That's what they do. Yeah, listen, I'm not kidding you. I know it sounds stupid, but that is stupid, yes. And so the city adds taxes with that in mind, and they have a foundation that tries to raise money. And we should be using our own bank and making a regional bank there that's huge. Huge. Like 2 or 3 times as big as it is now. And interest-free. Okay, well, so much for, I'll ignore the Canadian banks, but if you want to look at the inside of 1 or 2, I start with Commerce and I'd go to Bank of Montreal. And that ignores that little bank National, which had $137 million of Transat commercial paper that you can always rely on. You need the money, it's there, same as a savings account. But there's $137 million that isn't handy. And Jacques Cousteau, you know who that is, the big druggie, not a druggie, he's a drugstore owner. I think it's only 50 million or something that he says, I want my money. National says, well, you may have to wait and you may not get it all. And besides, you get in line, there's $33 billion of asset-backed commercial paper in Canada. So if you think